Blessings to you, to all your family members, and to everyone in St. Patrick's this Sunday as we listen to God's Word together. Jesus speaks to us in chapter 10 of the Gospel of Matthew and says, "Whoever loves his father or mother, whoever loves her daughter or son more than me is not worthy of me." Now those words are important, but they can be misunderstood. It might sound like Jesus is saying, don't need to take care of your mother or father or your children. On the contrary, another place in the gospel, Jesus makes it very clear to the religious leaders. You made up this rule that if you contribute to the church, you don't have to take care of your parents anymore. You don't have to economically care for them. Jesus is not rejecting our families. He's saying, give God your whole heart, and you will begin to see the world in a new way. A wider, greater way than just confined to your own little world. And he goes on then to say, whoever seeks only himself will end in ruin, whereas the person who brings herself to nothing, gives everything away for my sake, discovers who she is. Jesus is saying then that if you just think of yourself, the end of your life, you will be holding in your hand ashes. Whereas the person who gives her life away for others is going to end her life looking at what she's accomplished, saying, my hands are full of gold, full of treasure. Jesus then tells us that if you do even a little thing for others, like if you give a cup of cold water to a little girl who's thirsty, God will notice, and you will have a reward. It's the people in our lives who are surrounding us, who need us. They're the ones to whom we can be Christ and in whom we will see Christ. We might think sometimes of lifting our eyes to the heavens to find God, and God is in the heavens, but God then, through Jesus, brings us back down to earth and says, wait, you'll find me right here in that person next to you, and that person that's close by that's in need. Right now at St. Patrick's, we're going through a period of time that's unlike any other. And we are trying to prepare to come back together, and it's not going to look the same. And it's going to take, as Jesus calls for, some sacrifice. It's going to take different eyes. When we come back to church, many of us in our cars, to celebrate the Mass, we need to look with eyes of faith at the people around us. You don't see the volunteers this week who are there giving their whole afternoon, passing out tickets to everyone who's going to come. You don't see the young girl from our youth group with her team preparing posters of welcome. You don't see, but you will be able to see the effects of what's going to happen through the prayer group who are decorating the area. The man who spent all this week building a stage on which we put our altar. The people who went out during the week to tell others that if they couldn't come, and if they're older and they shouldn't come because they don't want to take any chances of being infected, telling them, we will find a way to bring you communion. All the people in our parish, I look out and see them and am amazed at the Spirit of Jesus working in our midst. The church has not been closed. We're not reopening the church. The church is alive and well. but we want to gather again to be fed by Jesus and encouraged by His Word, and then go back out once again to find Him and care for Him and love Him with all our hearts in the people around us in need. So we have one more week before July 5th, and from 1 to 5 in the afternoon, if you cannot come, you can call. And the office people then will find a way to get the tickets to you if you can't come between 1 and 5, if you need to get one of the tickets for Mass. And we will help you. Just let us know how we can best serve you to get you to the Mass this coming Sunday. But don't come if you are at all worried. If you're older, don't come. Watch Mass on television, make a spiritual communion, and you are with us. There is no obligation to come to church. We want you to come if you can, but don't come if you have any risks or are worried about the illness. We will take the time that's needed to get over this pandemic through God's grace. So blessings to you now, and look forward to our next time together next week, either in the parking lot or here on video.